Alright, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing very well today. Hope everybody's had a good day. If not, hopefully this will bring you some good news for the day. We have some interesting stuff for today. So, welcome everybody to the Marshal's Take. My name is Colton Brown, and I will be your news person of the day when it comes to racing. Now, we have some little bit of stuff here and there, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, the big thing that happened yesterday that everyone sort of knew that was going to go about was that Acura confirmed that they were going to go into LMDh. And that, again, that wasn't any sort of surprise whatsoever. I mean, in all honesty, every one of the teams that are in the DPI, they're probably going to go into LMDh. So get ready for all those manufacturers to go right on in. So now, that dropped yesterday. Now, today is something that I got very excited for because it was something that, well, first off, I'm wearing their team shirt. This is actually one of their crew shirts that was worn. I even got it signed. I don't know if you can see it, but I got it signed. So, it broke out today that Core Autosport, if we remember, they were running the factory Porsches and GTLM. Well, they for this year they are going LMP3s. Well, it broke out today about, I want to say about noon. About noon. Let me see if I can try to find it real quick. I just had it. Here it is, on one of those little side tabs. So, I mean, it's a possibility, but Core Autosport could be going into the LMDh program. Now comes the speculation of who they're going to be going in with. Because we all know they were Porsches for the long time. Give me 1 second. I just had something pop up real quick. Give me one moment. What do you mean what's going on? No. Wait, you heard all that? How? I didn't even pick up the phone. Well, I'm doing a podcast right now. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a quick call real quick. So, anyways, back to what we were trying to do. We are talking about Core Autosport going into LMDh possibilities. Now, I was going to say that speculating on what brand they're going to be going into, because as we know, Porsche has just confirmed that they are going in. Now, they have some connections with Porsche, obviously, because they were going into they were doing the factory Porsches, and then now they're going in they did have a Porsche GTE AM or GTD program. I think that was it was just before they went into LMP2s. So we all believe, I mean, when I say all of us, I mean me and my coworker that talk about this all the time. We believe he's going to go into Porsche. Well, the team is. The team owner, John Bennett, he does state that he doesn't believe that he is going to be racing in this set, but they have plenty of people that are capable of driving. So let me find. There was a quote that I have found. Here it is. So he does state that I have a multi-season horizon. I think that I would like to see Core span the gap to when the new generation of IMSA racing in 2023 starts, and with the hybrid prototypes. As long as I'm healthy and competitive, I am giving and having a good time in the paddock. I see many years ahead. And as long as everything is nice, set, and just everybody's having fun, this is going to be real interesting. Now, we do know that there is going to be a Penske Porsche, because once again, Porsche did run with an RS Spider back in the later years of ALMS. So we kind of figure that he's going to be with a Porsche. Could Core Autosport be with a Porsche? Now, he does state something about a factory effort. Now, once again, he did go with a factory Porsches for the last 2 years, or for the last year or so. So here it says, Bennett, who is returning to the series in a driving capacity this season with the LMP3 effort after 1 year hiatus. He told reporters that it is time racing against factory in IMSA's top class in 18 and 19 gave him an appreciation for the level of commitment required to fight for overall wins and against major manufacturers. He go on and says that while I enjoy racing the top category, it was really difficult to race factory as essentially a private entry. Now, that goes on to stating that with the Nissan the Nissan DPI, which is a very fast prototype. Don't get me wrong, that is a fast prototype. When Colin Brown, I think it was on the Road America. It was either Road America or it was in what was it? I think it was in Canada in Mosport. I think when he put that car on pole, it was a good ways faster than the Cadillac that was in second, I believe. But sadly, John drove first, which means they had to go all the way back to the back of the class. Colin Brown did do the qualification for that round. That Nissan was fast. But anyways, it does state somewhere here, with the experience both in prototype racing and running factory-backed efforts in an all-pro class, Bennett said he hoped his LMP3 program will keep the teams active while they work lined up a partnership with a manufacturer to return to IMSA's top class, all while giving himself an outlet to pursue his own driving. So he is going to go factory effort. More than likely, it's probably going to be like a Porsche, like I stated earlier on. So will that mean we're going to get a two customer Porsche, or we're going to have one customer Porsche and one factory Porsche? Because like I stated earlier, we got Penske possibly doing a Porsche, and now we have Core possibly doing a Porsche as well. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how that progresses. So, our next thing that I kind of found out here a moment ago while kind of reading through some articles is that Ford's possible LMDh and GT3 interests. So, sticking with the theme of the give me a moment, LMDh program. So, Ford and sports car racing have been hand in hand since the Mustang came out, or for at least for America, at least. Now, they have been in racing for a long time. So they have gone from my memory, from racing, from like Grand Am, Can-Am. I don't think they were in Can-Am. Mostly Grand Am. They have lots of Grand Am victories in that Daytona prototypes. With their GT program and their GT40 program, as we all know, winning Le Mans 4 times in a row from 66 to 69. So, now, as we all know, Ford does have a GT4 program that is in the Michilen Pilot Sport Challenge. Now, they have done very well. I think when I first saw them in 18 or 19, the Mustang absolutely blew everything out of the door. It was fast, it was competitive, it knew how to win. And I think there was probably about three or four different programs with the Mustang GT4. So now, Ford is thinking about going into top tier class racing once again. So Ford is obviously a big name in the industry. You can't mention Ford, or we can't mention the car manufacturer and the motorsport world without mentioning Ford at least once or twice. So behind the scenes, Ford has been a regular presence at the IMSA committee for the LMDHs, which could potentially be a foreshadowing for them to go into the LMDh program. Now, they did state, or it was sort of teased, that they were going to do hypercar, since they did away with their GT factory program. But that didn't come into fruition. So, now, with this LMDh program coming out, more affordable, a more affordable outlet to have an opportunity on, this might be a more grasp. It has a better of a grasp goal. So, it states here, see, where is it? So they have been, if we all remember, Ford stopped making sedans, four-door sedans. They have gone strictly Mustang when it comes to cars. And everything else has just been trucks and SUVs and crossovers and whatever. But their one car that they make is the Ford Mustang. They have switched from the Fusion, in NASCAR at least, they have switched from the Fusion to the Mustang. And here recently, they've been trying to improve on their all-electric and their hybrid-powered cars. So this sort of seems like it's a kind of a match for them to steer to when it comes to a racing program. Because I believe in NASCAR, they're also trying to go towards a hybrid, and nudging them to go into a hybrid state, but I really hope not. That's all. NASCAR is a whole different thing right now. But when it comes to sports car, this is where they're going to try to maybe try and get a better goal and grasp about it. So, whew, long-winded. So, when it comes to the LMDh, I think this is something that they've been trying to get IMSA to do for the past 2 years. Like I said, they have been in the meetings with all this, with all the committees and stuff like this. They're a major brand around the world. They have a big say on what goes. Let's see here. Trying to find. Let me look at the. Okay, so here it says, as an early advocate for the move to hybrids in IMSA's top class, it is clearly fond of Ford is clearly fond of where the series is headed, and while Ford isn't ready to confirm future LMDh plans, it wouldn't be a surprise to see for the Blue Oval return to take the likes of Acura, Audi, Porsche, and any other factorers who commit to the class, which obviously we all know is going to be Cadillac and Mazda that are left. So let's do a quick count of the programs or the brands that will be in LMDh. We have Audi, Porsche, Acura. Those are confirmed. Now, we all know that Cadillac will be next because they're big over here in the racing program. They have success. And then Mazda, which is probably going to be a one-car effort. So that's 5 right there. Added another one. That's going to be Ford, potentially. So, and on top of that, you got to think of the other customers that are going to be driving the brands. So you possibly have 2 Porsches, maybe 1 Audi. We don't know yet. We don't know if anybody's going to be taking an Audi yet. Maybe there's going to be a factory Audi. We don't know. That's going to be 2 cars. So two Porsches potentially, 2 Audis potentially, and there's going to be, I believe, 1 as of now. I just assume there's going to be 1 Acura, and there's going to be maybe 3 Cadillacs, assuming that they commit to the program, and with Mazda probably 1. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 10 LMDHs, give or take 2. So this is going to be fantastic stuff. If people aren't going to be excited for LMDh, they have another thing coming. They need to start putting their money over here. Mark my words, LMDh will be better. Will be good. Right. So then it goes on to say, still sticking with the Ford LMDh / GT3 interest. Now, I have seen some iterations of the Mustang GT3s. I haven't seen many of them. Not very many. And from what I understand, they do fine. They do great. But I do believe that Ford is trying to get the GT3 Mustang into the global market, such as GTD, GT and a bunch of other stuff. So they're looking at a global thing, and they themselves know and realize that GTE Pro or GTLM, that is shrinking, and the global GT3 that's expanding rapidly. Which also begs the question again, as I've said on here many times. Should there just be 1 GT3 class? And not talking like... Okay, this is what I'm going to try to explain real quick. So, let me get rid of that photo there. So, when I say 1 GT3 program, and you have what I'm trying to say is have the spec GT3 programs for your Mercedes, your Acuras, your Lamborghinis, your Ferraris, your BMWs, etc., etc. But with the same platform, you have your Pro, so your silvers and your golds, or your golds and your platinum drivers, and then the rest of you, your bronze and your silver drivers. Have the same setups, the same power, or the similar powers, similar weight, everything GT3, but just set it up as a pros and your amateurs, or your pro-ams. Nothing like your GTLMs whereas your GT3 plus, maybe 20 more horsepower, a little bit lighter, all this other stuff. No, just keep it GT3. Keep it global GT3 and do a pro category and a pro-am category. But it's all GT3. That would be good, because let's say you have your likes of Earl Bamber, which has been the factory Porsche GT driver for a while now. And let's say you have your likes of Andy Lally, that has been driving for a Lamborghini, which this year they're going to Acura. So take those two drivers, and Earl Bamber and Andy Lally. Those two go ahead, race head to head in the in the global GT3 program. Either one of those could go for a overall win in the GT class. It could happen. It'll be fantastic racing. It really will. So, I keep going to my mouse, but it's not plugged in. This is something that IMSA needs to start realizing, that GTLM is dying. GT3 is coming back. It's expanding, as I said. A lot of stuff. Very long-winded. So, let me know what you guys have to think about that, because I know right now the live chat isn't working because I don't have that many subscribers. I'm gonna gloss over that. So when I upload this, go ahead and give me a comment. What is your opinion for all this that I've said earlier? What do you think is going to happen with LMDh? Who else is going to be joining? Who do you think is going to be coming over to LMDh? Who do you think is going to be who do you think Core is going to go with? Who do you think Audi is going to go with? What do you think Ford would be best at, GT3s or the LMDh programs? Let me know what you have to say about that. Whilst you do that, I'm going to look at something rather quickly. So, and I believe if it's, I think it's today. Let me do a quick search. I believe it's... Oh no, I was a bit late. Too late for that. So, maybe we can find something else to talk about. Rather than just sports cars, because I know there has been some stuff going on in F1. A lot of testing and just, people trying to hype up some of their new drivers that they got. So some driver moves that's happened. Sebastian going to Aston Martin, Checo Perez going to Red Bull, Sainz going over to Ferrari, and obviously the new teams and all that good stuff. So now we just have to wait for the F1 season to start. In which case, I hope everything goes as planned, minus the Australian Grand Prix being moved. So I guess here soon I will be doing a recap here in the next 3 minutes for you guys that are just now joining. A little stream square right here is going AWOL right now. Hopefully the picture on your side is doing well. If not, please throw it down in the comments that hey, I need to work on the streaming smoothness. I thought I had it fixed, but something has confused me. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. I've tried the bit ratio. I've tried that. I've done the latency. I've done that. I've compressed it down to 720. I've done that. So maybe we can you guys can help me a little bit when to help make these episodes a bit better. I want to try something. Well, maybe not now. I got a few minutes. First off, let me catch my breath. Okay, I know one thing that I could do this after I do the quick recap. Well, I got 2 minutes. I think I can do this in 2 minutes. Probably not. But we are going to go look at... Yeah. We are going... we are going to go look at the... Well, now we only got 1 minute, so I'm going to just pull it up and we'll get it. We're going to go look at the entry list for the 4-hour endurance race, the BMW Endurance Challenge. So that's going to be your GT4s, your TCRs. This is going to be the Michilen Pilot Sport Challenge. All right, so minus the buffering and maybe the quality issues, hopefully some of this information is doing good. I'll be doing a quick recap here momentarily. I just have to figure something out real quick. Okay, let me... Is that... Maybe, I don't know. All right, let's do a quick recap while we have everything sort of trying to fix itself, which hopefully it does. So, we have, that dropped yesterday, we have Acura. Acura has confirmed that they are going to go into LMDh with the likes of Porsche and Audi. Now, the current teams that do have Acuras are the Wayne Taylor Racing and Meyer Shanks. Are they going to continue on with them during the LMDh era? Or is it going to be somebody completely different? So we're going to figure that out as the details come through. More than likely, we won't hear anything about who's doing what when it comes till about 22. The middle of 22 or the end of 22. So that dropped yesterday, and now, probably one of the more bigger news to me today is that the Core Autosport are have a potentially going into the LMDh category for 23. Now, I have spoken about this many times. If you've watched some of my videos before, you know how passionate I'm going to be about LMDh. I cannot wait for this. Because it's simply just going to be better than LMH. It really will. Mark my words. So, as we know, if you're in America, you've seen Core Autosports before in many stuff. They've been in the Prototype Challenge. They've been in your LMP2s for the longest time. They've been in GTD with the Porsche program. Here recently, they have done the factory Porsche, so the 911 and 912. Now, this year they had a bit of a hiatus from racing. From prototype racing, they are doing LMP3 this year, but I think they're just going to be doing the endurances for this year, since for this year and I think next year, LMP3s will be eligible to race in the endurances with the WeatherTech series. So John Bennett, the owner of Core Autosport, he is watching the development of LMDh very closely. He's keeping an eye on factory link-ups, which, assuming, or we're kind of making connections, really, that if he's going to do this, he's probably going to stick with Porsche. And if we remember, Porsche has said that they are going to be doing LMDh. It is confirmed. So that will make probably 2 customer Porsches, and them, and more than likely the other, or the second team is going to be Penske, because they ran the RS Spider back in the later years of ALMS. So he's looking at factory efforts. That's probably going to be their thing, is going with a factory effort, since they've had the factory stuff with the Porsches and whatnot, especially with the Nissan that they had in 2019. It is John Bennett goes on to saying that I have a multi-season horizon. I think that I would like to see Core span the gap to when the new generation of IMSA racing in 2023 starts with the hybrid prototypes. As long as I'm healthy and competitive and have a good time in the paddocks, I see many years ahead. All good. That's good stuff. We need more competition when it comes to series, when it comes to like top tier team, the top team programs such as classes. There we go. So we do know that we're just kind of assuming that everybody that's racing in DPI now is going to be going into LMDh. So we can sort of get a quick grasp on who's going to be going into LMDh. Because we have Audi, we have Porsche, and now we have Acura. So, with the other brands that are going to come in, like Cadillac, they're probably going to be next. And then Mazda, they're going to be probably after Cadillac. No, they're probably going to be a one car deal, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So let's dig deeper. Now, when it comes to the Porsches, as I stated before, we have Penske and possibly Core. So that'll be those are 2 Porsche teams. Now, with them, it's probably going to be a 1-car effort with Core. And knowing Penske, it's probably going to be a 2-car effort. So that's your 3 right there. 3 Porsches. We haven't heard anything about Audi yet. Yes, they are coming into LMDh, but we don't know if it's going to be a factory effort or if it's just going to be a customer, or if they're going to have customer racing teams. We don't know yet. So let's assume they have, let's see, a factory effort of 2 cars. So there's 5 right there. So then let's go with the Acuras, assuming it's still going to be Meyer Shank and Wayne Taylor. That's going to be a 1-car effort from both of them probably. So that's going to go bring it up to 7 cars. And let's talk about the assuming Cadillac is going to do it as well. There's 3 Cadillacs, I believe. 2 or 3 Cadillacs. So there's Action Express. So that's 2. There's 2 Cadillacs there. Maybe a 3rd one coming in. That brings it up to 8 or 9. 8 or 9. And then you have your Mazda, which brings that extra 1. Now, there's still a bit of time. Someone else could be committing to LMDh. So your likes of Peugeot, whatever you want to call it. Them, Toyota could. They could have a change of heart going into 23, stating, yeah, maybe we want to do LMDh better. Maybe that looks a bit better than this gobs of money that they do for being right now the only competitor in WEC LMH. So they're going to come in. We're going to see a lot of cars coming into the LMDh programs. We will. We really will. So that's going to be good news. It's going to be really, really good news. Now, something that I did find earlier today before going live, I saw this tiny little article, and it was about Ford. If I can find it again. Probably on the home page. Here it is. Okay, let it load. Please. Okay, so it is so behind the scenes of the whole thing, Ford has been a regular person in the committee when it comes to the Le Mans, the LMDHs. They've been there regularly in the meetings. So that could be a bit of foreshadowing for us that Ford might just stick their little fingers into the LMDh programs, saying that they might want to go into it. So that brings another couple of maybe 1 or 2 factory cars going into the class. But here it also states that since going into GT4 with their Mustangs, since that's the only car that they make now, Ford is also thinking about going into the GT3 global class. Now, we do have some around in like your SROs. And from what I understand, they do fine, they do good. But they want to go into your IMSAs and your WECs. They want to go into those competitions. So they've been trying to get IMSA to do this switch over to hybrid for the past 2 years, is what they state. And with what Ford is doing now with all of their vehicles going into an all-electric stuff and to their hybrid systems, this is something that they want to get a part of. They want to try and put that racing development into their road cars. That's where most of the stuff comes from. So from the DPI shifting to LMDh, this is something that is definitely down Ford's alley. They want to try to get a piece of this too. Excuse me. So do you think that Ford is going to go into LMDh, or do you think they're going to go into GT3 with their Mustang? We'll find out in a couple of years. Maybe next year, possibly. So we have a good bit of stuff coming into sports car. We have a lot of stuff coming into sports car, really, and I cannot wait. This is exciting. It really is. If you haven't gotten into sports car now is the time to be doing it. Now is the time. I keep hitting the computer. I need to get a separate camera. But anyways, now is the time to be doing all of that now. Long-windedness. Now, let's go and take a look at the entry list for the Michilen Pilot Sport Challenge. That is going to be probably going to race on Friday. They're a 4-hour event. Let me go to the Michilen Pilot Challenge. Okay, so here it is. If it will load, please. That would be great. Okay, so that page and then the entry list. All right, so we have a total of 41 entries into the 4-hour event. So going from numerical order down and starting in the Grand Sport category. So this is your GT4. This is your global GT4. So we have PF Racing, which is going to be a Mustang GT4. Up next is Stephen Cameron Racing LLC, BMW M4 GT4. Up next is, I should probably say the numbers, number 4043, and then now the number 46 Team TGM. They are the Chevrolet Camaro GT4R. Up next is the number 56 Murillo Racing. They drive the Mercedes AMG GT4. Then the number 59, the Core Motorsport, which is going to be the Ford Mustang. Not related to the Core Autosport. This is Core Motorsports. KOH capital R. Up next is number 64, another Team TGM Chevrolet Camaro GT4. Number 65, the Murillo Racing. The next one, the second one, again, it's a Mercedes. 7-1, Rebel Rock Racing. That is going to be the Chevrolet Camaro with Robin Liddell. Up next is the number 82 Beamer World, driving a BMW. No surprise there, obviously. Next is the number 83 Fast MD Racing with the Audi R8. 93, the Carbon with Peregrine. Peregrine, is that right? Peregrine with the Audi R8. The number 95 Turner Motorsport. This is the one with Bill Arberlin in there. It is going to be obviously when it comes to Turner, it's always going to be BMW, the GT4. And the next is again numbers 96 Robbie Foley, Turner Motorsport, the BMW. So altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Grand Sport entries. Now when it comes to TCR, we have a lot more. Again, going from numerical order down, we have the number 5, the KMW Motorsports with TMR Engineering. That is going to be the Alfa Romeo. I wish they sold that here. I wish they sold this Veloce, the Giulietta Veloce. I wish they sold that here. I would have bought that quick. Up next is the Rockwell Autosport development. They have the Audi RS3. That'd be the number 15. The next is going to be the 17, the JDC Miller Motorsport, the Audi RS3. Next is the number 19, Vanderstuur Racing. They are the customer Hyundai Veloster TCR. I don't know which color that one's going to be. No. Next is going to be the number 27. That is going to be the Copeland Motorsports. Again, another Audi Veloster. And what's actually just noticing some of these drivers, some of these are Georgia drivers. So a couple of I'll mention that later. So if you're in Georgia, stay tuned. I'll mention off some of these drivers for you. Next up is the number 33, the Brian Herta Autosport with curb. I can't even begin to say that. Looks like something AGAJANIAN. Them. They are going to be running the first Hyundai Elantra N. So this is going to be interesting to see. They're going to be running the first Elantra TCR into the series. Next is going to be the number 51, the second one of the Copeland Motorsports, the Veloster. Next is going to be now, this is not who you think it is, probably. But next is I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Michael Johnson. I thought this said Michael Jordan. Don't mind me. The Michael Johnson Racing, they are going to be with another Hyundai. So Hyundai is going to be taking over this TCR program, this grid. I remember when it was just Audis. It was like 5 Audis, and that was about it. Up next, that was the number 54. Next is the number 61 Road Shagger Racing, Audi, running an Audi RS3. Next is going to be the number 73 LA Honda World Racing, going with a Honda Civic FK7. Next is another Brian Herta Autosport, but this one will be running the Veloster, the number 77, which I believe that's the blue one. Next, it's going to be the number 81 CB Motorsports. They will be running a Hyundai Veloster. Shocker. Next is the number 84, the Atlanta Speedworks. They are running with a Honda Civic. There goes the diesel truck. Yep. Next is going to be the number 88 VGMC Racing LLC. Honda Civic. And coming down to the final two, the number 94, the second of the Atlanta Speedworks, again, another Honda. And the number 98 Brian Herta Autosport with a second Hyundai Elantra NTCR. So 41 entries going into the Michilen Pilot Sport Challenge program, or the race. And like I said, I saw some Georgia drivers in here. I will quickly go through them. Let me... Oh, I just saw them. Oh, and here we have some, what is it? This pre-event entry list. So the number 3 Motorsport in Action, they will be going with the McLaren. The number 4, the Windward Racing, Mercedes. The Volt Racing with Archangel, they will be driving the Aston Martin. The number 8, with Andrew Davis coming from Athens, Georgia. The Macan Racing, the Audi R8. Up next is going to be the Automatic Racing with the Aston Martin Vantage. Funny thing is, this actually has the sponsor on there. Stoner. This is a Stoner Care one. Invisible Glass, Rogue Engineering, a Melbourne BMW. I don't know. So next is the number 10 LAP Motorsport with a Mercedes. The number 13 AWA with a McLaren 570S. Number 14 Riley Motorsports with the Supra. So this is the Toyota Supra GT4. Crap, what did I do? So up next is going to be the number 16 Wright Motorsports. This is the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport. See here. Next up is the number 23 Not Lad Racing by RS1. That one is blank. I don't know if that was a mistake or if they have to have a car. I don't know what car it is, but they're going to have one. It's just blank currently. Up next is the Frasun Frasun Racing with a BMW M4. Next is the BGB Motorsports with a Porsche Cayman GT4. So that's the full list for the Michilen Pilot Sport Challenge 4-hour race at Daytona. I'm just shocked at how much Hyundais there are. That's a lot of Hyundais. Hold on, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Hyundais. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Hondas. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, only 3 Audis and 1 Alpha. So it seems like the preferred choice is going to be the Hyundai. So, but let's see how the Elantras get on. Let's see how that goes. I will say there's definitely a jump in Camaros in the Grand Sport programs. A lot more. There was just the one with the Robin Liddell, which was the Rebel Rock Racing. Now, let's see. There is 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. So this is going to be definitely going to be an interesting race. I'll do my best to see if I can try to catch it. Knowing me, I'll probably be at work and miss the whole thing. But once it comes up, probably on YouTube or something, I'll watch it and see if I can give you my opinions and give you some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some, I guess, breakdown on some of the incidents that happen, protocols and stuff like that, because I am actually a Marshal, so I do know what's going to go on. Right. So, with that being said, I'm going to close it out right here for you guys. I gotta plug something in real quick, or else this is not gonna go so well. Probably not even gonna work. So, with that being said, I'm gonna put this up as a video. It's all gonna be right there, so you can watch it later on if you missed any early parts of it. So give me your opinions down in the comment section. Who do you think the Porsche is going to go to? Who's going to go with the Audis? Who's going to go with the Acuras? Who else is going to be going into LMDh? Do you think Ford is going to go into LMDh or GT3? Let me know down in the comment section. I would like to hear your opinions about it. Or if you have any questions, I would gladly answer them as quickly as I can. If you've liked this stream or video so far, please give me that thumbs up. That would be very appreciative. If not, hit the dislike button or something like that. If you have any opinions on the quality of the show, if you have any opinions or any help that'd be greatly appreciated. So let me try and get something real quick before. I know you probably hear this, but I'm kind of... Give me a second here. So while I try to do a decent outro, trying to figure this out. Okay, yeah, so it works. So go, good. So now that we can do a proper outro, I will see you guys next time. Probably not gonna happen this Friday. I'm probably gonna do it on keep doing this on Wednesday. I might do a stream for the Daytona 24 to probably do some breakdowns of some incidents on some protocols and stuff like that when it comes to marshaling. And obviously I'll give my opinions if there's any controversial incidents and whatever, decisions, whatever. I'll give my opinion on that. This thing is not pausing. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys have a good night, a good day, wherever you may be watching. We'll see you guys next time on the Marshal's Take. Have a good day, guys.